that is a mantra designed for people who say it enough to be able to incorporate conflicting ideas into their brains. The positive and negative aspects of the world around you and the absurd things that happen to you will make more sense. World Inferno Friendship Society. The more you say it, the more your brain embraces the absurdity around you. This will make you a happier person.
The way I heard it was a gang while Jack was in high school called the World Inferno Friendship Society.
Dante's Inferno is where they took the name from. Just the different people you're going to meet in hell when we all get there.
Incorporate opposing ideas, like any particular opposing ideas? Life and death?
Well, those are not something a little more subtle than that. Just that, I don't know, I can't think, what's something that really bothers you?
Me?
Something that just doesn't fit together, like you want to sleep late and yet...
During the Cold War, there were all these international sort of cross-iron curtain friendship societies, like the Chinese-American Friendship Society. They fostered just like communication between capitalist and communist nations in a ostensibly productive way. And so that's where the Friendship Society comes from. It's a Cold War metaphor.
The president, institutions, the government, the United States, imperialism.
Yeah, saying our name won't help you with those kind of things.
No.
I'm talking more about, not quite abstract things, but things that usually confuse and frustrate you. Such as, see, that's the big question.
Love.
You love someone, but it hurts so much to love someone.
World Inferno Friendship Society, people think it's a friendship between the band and the fans. It's not really about that. The band and the fans are the world. It's a friendship with hell.
And then you got your world, and then you got your Inferno, and let's be acquainted.
It's taking the world above and the hell below and bringing them together.
Lines. I hate lines. Like it's
waiting in line?
Like long lines. I just sometimes put everything back, you know?
I just walk out, actually. I've been doing that lately.
Don't put everything back and still.
Can World Inferno help you with that?
I think, yeah, freedom from lines. Just walk out. If they really want you to pay that badly, they'll come after you.
They're definitely a lot more responsible than they've ever been and more careful about what they do.
In some ways.
Yeah, in some ways.
More than they were.
More than they were, that's for sure.
I mean, there were shows that I've been to where they set off fireworks in the middle, like in a small bar in New York City, and you know they would hand off the same ID to like 4 different girls just to get in.
The band would come. The band would come out with all the band members' IDs. Who needs an ID?
Yeah. Most of you are old enough since you're in here, and you're all over 21. I said you're all over 21.
And it would somehow work.
And it would work. And, you know, we're just crazy stuff like that.
You know, like when they almost burnt down Brownies, I was there. It started as most of their shows did. You know, when Tattoo's Fate started, Semra would light her cymbal on fire, and Jack would blow flames a couple times. Now, the place had an arch like this over the stage. The first time he did it, there was a monitor hanging above the stage, and it kind of, you know, it's alcohol, so it just kind of engulfed the monitor, but since it's alcohol, it burned off really quickly. It's like, wow, all right. But the next time he did it, he faced the arch, more close to the arch, and he got a really good flame out of it. The arch was made of fabric, so it kind of caught a little bit of it, smoldered, and then started to burn, and eventually just kind of went out. But you could see it, like the rest of the show, there was a small little burn area. I mean, you could tell that they were going to get in some sort of trouble, but I didn't think a pan would be happening.
Originally, he had a cocktail glass, and I said, we do drink cocktails, but wine is more appropriate.
You gotta drink red wine and do whatever you feel in the heart. That's what it's all about, you know?
A lot of drinking outside, a lot of drinking inside. And of course, it's always going to be the fancy suits and things like that. Empty bottles of wine everywhere. It's a World Inferno show.
You're in the band, aren't you? Well, yes, I am. I'm in the band. Because you're not going to drink on the job, are you? And I said, oh, heavens, yes. Oh, no, yes.
The alcohol definitely brings something to the shows.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
it makes it that much better.
I remember the last time I saw him, like, I couldn't help but think, like, Man, that singer is trashed. Just the way he was like
passing around wine and everything in a Nalgene bottle.
How's it going? What are we in right now?
A documentary.
Oh,
I didn't
on
understand
what?
that there was a camera there.
On what?
I'm Inferno Culture.
Oh, Inferno Culture.
Inferno.
This is you. Here it is, right here.
Here she is. Hey, motherfucker. That's how we get her. That's how it happens.
That's how it happens.
That's how it happens.
How you doing?
Hello. All right.
Yeah. I'm going in. I like him, but I think he might feel awkwardly about me. Okay, let's go. Let's go. Yeah, whatever. It's okay.
I guess we're on the way to
Inferno Culture started in Toms River. Toms River, New Jersey.
Started in Westchester. Westchester, New York.
Toms River.
Westchester.
I'm gonna kick your ass.
Westchester.
Check
I
it
have
out.
to piss so badly. I've been sitting in your goddamn van for 1,000 hours. Sorry. Lovely to see you.
And there's the
Wow.
There's a lot of alcohol involved.
Our second baritone player, Mr. Dan Bailey, who came to be very, very, very important to the group, grew up in Denton, Texas. In Denton, Texas, there was a collective called the Good Bad Art Collective that every year celebrated the 3-day festival of Hallowmas, which is around Halloween, the day before and the day after. When we got Dan Bailey, or he joined the band, a lot of his cohorts from Denton, Texas moved up here as well and formed another Good Bad Art Collective. And right when Keep Street closed, we moved into their basement and started making that our base of operations. And they already had a tradition of celebrating Hallowmas as a Christmas and New Year's, and I'm trying to think, see, that's the problem. It's a religious holiday for no religions.
Halloween of 2000, I didn't have anything to do, and Eula's like, well, my band's playing this big Halloween show, it's kind of a thing, the Good Bad Art Collective. And I went down there, and it was, I finally found it. They had Dan Bailey in a bird cage dressed as a pirate, hung about 20 feet off the street outside. And I came in, and there was a Misfits cover band playing in one corner, and Peter dressed as a Nazi general, and Lucky in drag, looking about 6'5", and a naked Ryan Burse blowing fire, and one of the little Manning brother juggling flaming clubs. He's probably about 14 years old at the time, and it blew my mind. I was like, whoa, this is the greatest band I've ever seen.
He made a brief attempt in the late 90s to kill Jack Terrycloth. There was a Brownies show, and it might have spilled over into that one, where he kind of announced that Jack Terrycloth would die.
Right.
And he...
Be reborn as... Did he have a concept for the reborn?
Yeah, he told Dan's old roommate that he wanted to be named after an Asian sauce called the favorite sauce that goes with everything. And so he decided in like a Prince-like way that he was going to be favorite singer who goes with everything. And so I think the burning effigy might have had something to do with that. It was a white suit, one of his white suits and a pumpkin for a head, and the suit had died somehow. And I think that night the owner of Good Bad got pretty pissed about it, because I think we promised him that nothing would explode.
Right.
And it didn't explode, it was just on fire.
Right.
And
he wasn't into that technicality. Yeah.
He said something about the letter of the law versus the spirit of the law. I think he punched him. I'm pretty sure that happened. Candy corn fight.
I was one of the people to hoist Jack up.
Oh, did you hoist?
I was helping hoist it. Yeah, Jack was flying above the crowd at the end of the, when it was time for pumpkin time, I guess it was during that show, right? At that moment. So, yeah, just trying to get him up there. It was very, done by, everyone was licensed and everything. It was totally cool.
Now, friends, we all require a leap of faith. And I'm talking about faith. From the pumpkin patch,
And by the end of the night, so there were candy. How many fucking things of candy corn did you? I mean, it was unbelievable the amount of candy corn. It's at North 6, R.I.P. Rest in peace. Just fucking thrown like thing after thing, like buckets and buckets.
It was 100 pounds of candy corn.
It was something like that. It turns out candy corn gets hot, then it gets really gross, and then it gets really slippery.
The entire floor of this club was covered in this orange and black viscous goo.
And everyone's shoes. You get home and
everyone's
like,
shoes were ruined. But so he had to hoist Jack up on a rope so he could fly over the audience.
While we were like, we could like actually stand up.
It was like an episode of Scooby-Doo. Their legs are going, they're sliding forward while Jack is not really flying as we intended, but kind of dangling, just kind of bobbing there.
But so when we left the Good Bad Art Collective, we took Hallowmas with us. And we can continue to celebrate it to this day. And I bet we'll continue to celebrate it as long as I'm breathing. Because even if we don't play any other shows during the year, I'm sure World Inferno will play a Halloween show.
You think your scene's dead, man? Mine got killed by some dimwit's triumph of the will.
Most people were very upset about the Miss Riefenstahl song. Someone you don't respect or like the goals of is offering you an awful lot of money. What do you do? Miss Riefenstahl obviously went for it, which is fine. Unlimited resources. That's her choice to make. But the same, the Clash also signed Columbia. Columbia, Third Reich, maybe that might be a kind of a hard stretch, but it's still a stretch you can see.